Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkiest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man Aubrey Taylor in the Houston Business Connections, and I am the 5-star general. It's a Monday night. It's election season. And we got an opponent now. So, in the immortal words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's time to ish out a ass whooping. That's all it boiled down to. Let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you good people, we wouldn't have a show. So we really appreciate you taking the time out to stop in and hang out with us and do what we do. You know, on Monday nights, man, we raise money for the campaign. But we also bring you unique knowledge along the way as we're raising money for the campaign. So we're gonna try to do better than we did last week, and we're gonna get this thing rolling. I'm gonna start it off by saying, of course, you know, all the pastors have shown up in DC, you know, for the voters' rights and, you know, the new William Pettis Bridge March and all what they doing. And they doing what they do down there. But it's time for you Democratic leaders to come home. It's time for you to go into the state house and do what we voted you in to do, which is battle to get things changed. You have redistricting coming up. You have campaigns coming up that you have to work, and sitting around in Washington trying to move some Republicans that are not going to move is not going to get it done. And here's the thing that I find amazing, Aubrey. They done met everybody and their mama in DC except for Joe Biden. They met everybody and their mama except for Joe Biden. Why Joe won't talk to y'all? Y'all got duped, huh? So in 2 more years, y'all gonna be screaming, vote for Biden again, huh? Aubrey, what's going on, my friend? Turn your mic on.
Yeah, man, this thing is a mess, and it's going downhill real fast. There's a lot that's going on in Texas, man. We got that redistricting coming up. And, man, I tell you again, on Monday, December 13th, we got those ballots for 2022 going to be set. So, hey, man, some serious decisions that's going to be made. I think we're going to look at some situations where many of these individuals who's in Washington right now, they're going to have to come back, dude, because they're going to have their own campaigns to run. I mean, I'm sure that we're going to have many contested races on the state rep side, and they're probably going to be more competitive than we've ever seen them before.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's going to be a major shakeup on the local, state, and the federal level in all of these elections that are coming up. I mean, some people have just not done a good job, you know, and, you know, one of the firestorms is Harold Dutton, you know, being, you know, in Houston while the rest of them are up in DC. And hopefully Wednesday, once I get the confirmation, Representative Dutton should be on the War Zone Wednesday night. Well, not the War Zone, Dirty Politics on this Wednesday night to speak his piece. And he has the right to do that. That's what we do. We allow people to come on and speak their truth. So Representative Dutton has been on the show before. He's welcome to come back, just as well as all of y'all, Republicans and Democrats. Come on, sit down and talk to us. Let's cut the BS out. Let's get down to business. So, you know, and I totally agree with you. It's going to be some major shakeups. But I don't know, and maybe you could speak on it, how anybody will be able to go back to the polls and vote for Biden if he's not done anything for them in 2024.
Well, you know, I mean, that's a pretty good ways off, man. There's a lot that's going to happen between now and then, especially with this COVID, you know, with this with this pandemic, some people call it scamdemic, you know, going on, man. But 2022 is going to be the cycle that's going to determine, I think, what's going to happen in 2024. But 2022, man, is going to be a mess, man. And if something doesn't change, I think that all of this stuff that's going on right now is actually going to backfire on some folks. It's not going to work out in the way that that individuals believe that it is. I'm beginning to hear more and more people say that see, this is why, something I heard when I was a kid, man, that see, this is why we don't vote. These people just going to do what they want to do, man. All this uproar that they think the Dems actually think is going to work out in their favor or curry favor with the voters, man, I don't think it's going to work. I think it's actually going to, that's what's going to keep people away from the poll rather than what they're calling voter suppression, man.
Well, I tell you what, man, we running for election over here in the school district, District 9. We finally got an opponent. Myrna Guidry, the lady that took Wanda Adams's place, who they appointed for a year, has finally thrown her name into the hat. We had an event Saturday, and I had an opportunity to briefly meet her, and we were cordial. She's a very cordial person. But the thing is, it's not personal. Where we are in education right now, we got to shake it up. We got to do it differently. And I don't think that having somebody in the seat who doesn't have the expertise to deal with the educational sector, who doesn't have the passion to understand that teachers need a raise. I went back and I did some research. And when the issue came up about teacher raises, Myrna Guidry was against giving teachers raises. Now, we're talking about HISD where teachers don't make money. How do you expect to retain the best teachers with what you're paying them now? And you as a trustee did not want to give them a raise? No. Great students they become great students because they have great teachers. And we don't have enough great teachers in HISD with over, I think we're about at 500 vacancies right now. Like I'm going to say school in the district that I'm in, James Madison High School. They're advertising that they only need two math teachers, but in all actuality, they need 5. So they're already plotting on putting 3 substitutes in these math classes where children will get uncertified instruction. You see what I'm saying? These kids will not get the type of education that they need. And another thing with the pandemic doing what it's doing, we still can't have an in-person board meeting, where we get to go to the board meeting with the board, but you're ready to send all of these kids back to school. You don't have a mask mandate. So little kids are definitely prone to getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Because they little kids, they wouldn't keep the mask on anyway. They babies, they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They get sick of wearing the mask. But the thing is, you will not jeopardize the lives of 9 trustees, but you'll jeopardize the life of 196,000 kids. That doesn't make sense to me. Speak to that, my brother.
Again, man, and it's a bad situation that's getting worse. There's a lot that's not making sense with this pandemic and with what's going on, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. We're able to do everything else. I don't know. That's something that I'm really taking a look at. Man, these kids are missing a lot in terms of not being able to attend those classes, man. I don't think that not attending is not working. And in this home virtual thing, a lot of kids are falling that are already marginalized, man, are falling further and further behind. And that's in my opinion. Now, as it relates back to that teacher raise thing, man, I mean, something has to be done, man, about bringing some parity to what these teachers are earning and making it competitive, across the board with other school districts. It's shameful. I actually didn't know that your opponent or the person who's been appointed to that position was actually against that. So that's going to become a messaging thing and a part of an overall strategy, man, to get that girl out of there. And that you're going to have to carry. So we're going to need some in-person forums. We're going to need some direct voter to voter contact where you're able to carry your message and where you're able to let the people know that one issue. And that one issue, man, could derail that girl's campaign. I mean, well, the trustees campaign going forward.
Well, I say this here. Janelle Dunn says Substitutes are cheaper than paying teacher salary. That's true. But uncertified instruction, you can't give a kid a grade on a report card after 30 days of uncertified instruction. They're not the teacher of record. What? Come on, man. We done all been in a classroom where they got substitute teachers. What do a substitute teacher teach? They basically in there babysitting. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, they're not even, and they got all these URSA funds that just came in from the federal government that the state of Texas has released to them. And yet you won't spend it on getting quality teachers, or you won't give the teachers a livable wage to live by, to work for. And it doesn't make sense. Yeah, my opponent did not want to give teacher raises. But I clearly understand this is something, things tonight you're going to find out that you didn't know. You know, I clearly get what she's doing. She was placed there. This is a woman that has never spoken at a school board meeting. This is a woman that has never dabbled in education at all, has never advocated for our children on a level that she can honestly verify and say that she's done it. So somebody wanted her in there. And at the end of the day, you black politicians, I keep trying to tell y'all, you stick your nose in my business, you're going to have a problem. And I don't care if she's in there. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. But somebody wanted her in there. We already know the ring kissers wanted her in there.
Yeah.
I'm actually taking. Look at her page and look at who she's taking pictures with. That'll tell you everything.
Yeah, straight off the bat, I took a look at that over the weekend, and I clearly saw, a few people who you have to kiss their ring to run. Now, I don't know what role they play behind the scenes to get her in there, but I'm sure we're going to start seeing some endorsements and some other things to try to get this thing going and rolling in terms of the campaign. So those folks are going to come out of the woodworks. My thing that's interesting is to see what consultant she's going to be going with. I've got an idea, who that's going to be, but man, I doubt that boy's going to come to play. But hey, and who I'm talking about.
They got to go get him a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Go get you
a heavyweight. Who do you think that'll be?
I mean, come on. In our world, it can be a Ron Jackson. It can be a Justin Jordan. It can be a Dallas Jones. Bring them all. Bring them all. I don't care who you bring this time. This is not 4 years ago. This is not 4 years ago. And if y'all gave a damn about these children's education, you wouldn't even get involved in it. Because you should want these children to get an education. Now, whether we know it about or not, HISD is what I call the graveyard for run-of-the-mill politicians. Once they done ran their circle around the other positions in city government, they'll throw them in HCC or HISD. They'll end up there. Tell me if I'm wrong, because we done seen it too many times. Okay, so now they throw them over here. Why are they putting them over here? See, because HISD has an accountability problem when it comes to money. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of money that's being misappropriated. It's a lot of money changing hands through after-school programs. You see what I'm saying? Trustees are making money off of after-school programs. Yeah, I'm saying it. This is how y'all getting y'all little change. Because ain't no way in hell you're going to be fighting to stay in a position and go through the hell you go through, and it ain't paying you. Unless you just have a passion for the children. A lot of y'all don't have passion for the children. A lot of them do not have passion for the children. They could give a damn and care less if them kids die. You see what I'm saying? Now, I will say that our kids are falling by the wayside because of the pandemic and the way that they're being educated. But it also has hit the high-performance schools, too, because they were cooking the books in the high-performance schools with the test scores and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, they're not doing any better than the low-performance schools. But if you would get HISD up to speed from an educational standpoint, that other countries are where they are, then none of our kids would probably be doing bad. But the only thing they care about is skimming money off the top. So somebody wants her in that position. You see what I'm saying? I went to a function yesterday. They had a District 9 community meeting. Well, one, I'm a stickler for time. The way my father taught me that if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're good. If you're late, you ass out. That's how he taught me. This event starts 30 minutes late. Hold on a second, man. We don't even get the event started on time? Okay. Then when I look up, they come marching in the room with the dial and drum line. Got all the teachers and support people there with them. They are actually marching in the room like this is a show. This is a show. At that point, I did not see representation from Westbury. They tell me they were there. I didn't see it. I did not see representation from the Worthing community. And that is a problem for me. So rather than create a problem, I got up and I left. If you're going to do a District 9 meeting, it should be for all of the schools in District 9. It should be for all of them, not a select few. But here's the thing. One of the biggest schools in District 9 is Madison High School, who has a sorority sister as a principal, which is cool. So when I get to the front door, I got sorority members waiting on me at the front door. So I already know who's controlling this. You see what I'm saying? We doing the same thing we've been doing for 4 years. We just putting on a show. Are we here to discuss the issues, find solutions for those issues, or are we here just to put on a show? Dog, 30 minutes late, I left. If you're not going to be inclusive to the whole district, which includes African American, Asians, blacks, African American, Asians, whites, Latinos, everything. You know, I don't know all the ethnicity, Somalian, whatever, Muslim. If you're not going to be inclusive, I no longer want any part of it. I'm not doing the racial division. I'm not doing it anymore. Racial division does not work for me anymore because it's tearing us apart, not just from a school perspective, but from a country perspective.
Especially, man, these are nonpartisan races, man. And I hate to see when you have these cliques and you have these partisan groups and even the parties, man, playing ball in them. It's nonpartisan for a reason, man. They should be absent of the political activity, and we should be getting the best, most passionate person who actually care about these students in that office, man. And and that's what needs to happen, especially this time around.
Well, I tell you what, man. I had to, I'm an old man, so I'm trying to learn how to work all this computer stuff. You know what I'm saying? And over the weekend, I worked on the website, and I had to find pictures to put on it. And I went and started putting pictures, man. And I was like, wow. I didn't even realize I had done all of that. You see what I'm saying? You don't mind if I show the people a little bit. Let's show you the work that I've done in the last 4 years. And then you tell me, because when I looked at it, it was like, wow. Hold on a second. So that's it right there. Okay. Let's make sure. So we got up the site, right? And you guys are welcome to go to the site at any time. Somebody asked me, they say, man, why you got the people up there drinking coffee? You know, why they drinking coffee and eating salad? Because we need to learn how to sit down like folk and figure anything out. And normally you can do that over drinking a cup of coffee or eating a good meal. So as I'm going through the site, right? As I'm going through the site, you can see we counting the days down, 91 days, 4 hours, 37 minutes, 14 seconds. So now you get to me, it tells you a little bit about me. Of course, you see the video, the Make 'em Mad video. You also see the video from my first campaign, Take Your Seat. And then I got down here to photos. So let's click this and show more. Now let's look at what I've been doing for 4 years. You see what I'm saying? Let's look at what I've been doing for the last 4 years while these people have been playing. I'm at Yates celebrating the building of this new school that I was influential in, making sure that these kids got what they needed. You see me working with law enforcement, with Chief Fenner, with Harris County DA Kim Ogg. You feel what I'm saying? Worked with Dr. Lathan. We fell out at the end, but it was what it was. And I mean, I just get love from everywhere. Look at these pictures, man. And here's the thing. Not being, let's go here. Look at this picture. I'm a community member. Do you know some of these people in this picture, Aubrey? Aubrey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Who can tell me I can't battle with the best? Yep. This is Greg Grugan. What's your point? But look in the picture. You got Wanda Adams, Sue Dygard. I can't remember this lady. Carol Alvarado. Yep. You know, I see Gene Wu in this picture. And Gary Monroe. I'm battling up here with state legislators. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I'm battling, and I can go blow for blow with any of them. So I kept adding pictures. Me with the COO at the time, Sheila Jackson Lee. These are two great women that I met, and they're part of the Polka Dot family from the west side of town. You see what I'm saying? Just good sisters of mine. This is us over at Phyllis Wheatley High School. That was the day James Prince showed up. We doing a gang summit over there. As you can see, Rhonda Prince is there. Of course, I work hard with my Yates alumni. You can see me right next to that, giving the president at the time of the NAACP, James Douglas, the business. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't finna play with you. Me and Paul Wall, I'm just going through a few of them, bro. You know, then you got me at gang summits again. Round table discussions, just going at it. This is the work that I've been doing for 4 years. When it's time to battle and get into the community, I do that. I'm at Yates with Brad Jordan, bridging the gap between law enforcement and the kids. You feel what I'm saying? Let's look at it. I'm all over the place. Sir Romeo, this is a kid, if you can see that finger that I put up there. Sir Romeo was a kid that was in Scott Plaza Apartments, King Road, and was shot through his wall by an AK-47. He had like 36 surgeries. And that particular year, I wanted to make sure that the kid had a good Christmas because he didn't have anything. So I got together with a couple of my teammates and we went and gave that baby a great Christmas. And a lot of people donated to make sure he had a great Christmas. You see what I'm saying? Everywhere you see, I'm putting in the work. Jonathan Trent, who was the principal at Wisdom High School, who sent me a note after y'all came to my school, Mr. Monroe, gang violence decreased significantly. This is down here on this picture. This is us, a night where we were honored. You know, one Houston, one hood for the work that we had put in the community. And as you can see, I got the championship belt. That's 2 years in a row, the Activist of the Year. Next to that, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio with Samira Rice, Tamir Rice's mom. Look like I ain't playing no games either. No. You know, the one picture that's near and dear to me is on the end. This is actually the brother that discovered Muhammad Ali, and he came to our very first gang summit. Wow. I'm not going to sit there and go through all those pictures, but I'm telling you, bro, that I was amazed at all that I had done. You know, I worked with some great people along the way, the Arts and Coffee Smiths, the Larry McKenzie's, to Hill Charles, Travis McGee, you know, all of these people, man, getting down for what we need to get down for. And at the end of the day, if we don't fall and lean on the foundation that education brings to the plate, then guess what? Our kids are going to fall by the wayside. So I'm going to ask you just from that, just from those few pictures, and there's far more on that. I just didn't show them all. Can you tell me somebody that did more work than me in the last 4 years, man?
Man, I've been watching you for a while, man. Even before we hooked up several years ago, and I don't think there's anybody more qualified than you right now that's going to be on this ballot. I mean, the race that you're in is going to be the key race on that ballot. You're going to have some stuff happening with HCC as well, but I mean, I just don't see anybody who's done as much. And I think that the community needs to reward you for the hard work that you've done. I think that you'll be an excellent addition to the school board, and we just got to get it done, man. And the main thing is going to be able to get those numbers up. I think I told you last time I looked at the numbers from the previous race, man, and just the participation alone is just not great enough. I mean, there was only 8,622 votes cast, but man, there's 84,185 voters at the time. I mean, again, that's 84,000, only 8,000 votes cast, man. So, the numbers are going to have to get up. You're going to have this COVID thing going on. So unless these election laws get passed, you're going to have a lot of absentee ballot voting going on. And we didn't do too good in that category last time. You didn't.
We're going to be all right.
Yeah, but you'll be all right this time, man, with the right campaign and right strategy.
Well, I tell you what, part of the reason that these school board races are overlooked, we have single member districts, and I like them to a certain degree. I like it to a certain degree. I don't like everything about it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But I can tell you this, that if I was in an at-large position, this woman wouldn't have a chance in hell at all. You know why? Because my white brothers and sisters love me. They love the passion. My Latino brothers and sisters, I done got down for their kids. They love me. But we got them in our district too. The thing is we can't fall for the okie doke no more. Whether it's school board, city council, mayor race, the county seats, anything. We cannot fall for the okie doke no more. I'm sick of the racists. I'm sick of the racism. You see what I'm saying? When I take that seat, I have to govern not just African-American kids. I have to govern white kids. I have to govern Latino children. It's time for us to just lock arms with each other, especially on this race, and let's just go get it, man. Let's just go get it. It's time out for the foolishness. Now, what we do is we put our heads together as a collective unit, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. You feel what I'm saying? I'm 2 cans short of a 6-pack some days. And it's time for us to put the white knowledge in the room with the Latino knowledge, with the African-American knowledge, with the Asian knowledge, and we come up with a plan that works for our children.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. And I'm sick. Ain't nobody finna tell me that I can't get the support of a Republican. I don't give a damn if they're a Republican. I don't give a damn that I'm black and they're a Republican. I'm qualified. Yeah. Don't vote for me because I'm black. Vote for me because I'm qualified. Now, Art asked the question. He say, how do you feel about the pro-female board members? The board needs male representation. The board needs a male presence. Without a male presence, all we got is a bunch of cat fights every month. See, everybody too busy. See, I think the board needs to adopt the philosophy of a parent. My kids know one thing: I'm not your friend. My kids know I'm not your friend. Board members need to understand when I win, I'm not your friend. I'm not here for you. I'm here for them. I'm here for these teachers. And all we got to do is just work together to get it done. My main objective when I take the seat, my brother, is to increase teacher pay across the board. For the new teachers that's coming in, for the tenured teachers that's coming in, we need step raises for them. And I'm not talking about no fucking $500 a year. When you break it down in a year, that's chump change. We need to be giving these people bonuses of $5,000 a year. If they've been a teacher, a tenure, they got over 10 years or however we can put it together, then you need to pay them like they done earned this money. And then you'll bring the best and the brightest teachers back to HISD. I believe that a first-year teacher, and I went back and adjusted my numbers, a first-year teacher should make $70,000 a year. That's what I believe. I don't care what nobody tell me. We got more than enough money to make it happen. If we stop stealing the money, then we can pay the teachers $70,000 a year.
I totally agree, my brother. And really, when you look at it, man, 70 is not a lot of money these days, man.
Oh.
Even at 70, man, that money's gone before they get it, man. I think it's well worth it. It's a good idea.
See, I believe that the male presence on the school board will bring some balance into the room. Once you lost Greg Myers, once you lost Manuel Rodriguez, once you lost Mike Lunsford, the board went to hell because you didn't have any balance in the room. You need balance in the room. But more importantly, District 9 needs real representation. It needs real representation, not somebody they done threw up in the race. Not somebody they just want in there to do what they want them to do. I think if Monroe end up in closed session, I'm going to mess up the church's money. I'm going to mess up the church's money. Well, guess what? We ain't supposed to be getting paid anyway.
Yeah, man, lead the church out of this, Monroe. Lead the church out, man. We already.
They passing the collection plate around in HISD through procurement. Hold on, let's put Kelly McElroy Bowen's comment up. The districts are way too top heavy. Cut some CO big money, BS positions, and give more money to the teachers. That's a simple fix, Kelly, because you are telling the truth. They are too top heavy. And a lot of those positions need to be X'd out. You have people sitting in positions at the top of HISD that don't even meet the degree requirements to even hold the positions. This was the homegirl hookup, the frat brother soror hookup that got them the job. You see what I'm saying? So those positions need to go. You need to get rid of the SSO position. What does an SSO do besides come to the school and get on the principal's nerve so that they can go out there and target teachers and harass them? What do they do? That SSO position needs to be gone. How do you switch almost 60 principals since school closed? You changed 60 school principals. What is really going on? Are your principals that bad? No, they're not. This high stakes testing has us in a bind. It has us in a bind. Do our kids need something so we can measure their growth as far as students? Yes. But the STAR test is not it. It's not it. This ain't nothing but a $44 million a year cash cow for somebody's friend in Austin, Texas.
So do you have another idea? Do you have another idea?
In regards to
the testing?
Come on,
or
man.
Another way to do it?
I tell you what we need to do. Bottom line, let the teachers go in the classroom and teach. If you don't want your kid to take the STAR test, you opt out. Now, when you opt out, what happens to your kid? Can they pass? Will they be retained? No, they put your child in front of a grade placement committee. Now, you know what a grade placement committee does? They look at your child's grades and determine if they should be promoted. So why do we need high stakes testing? If everybody opted out, it is what it is. Your grade's going to say whether or not you go to the next grade. But we can't keep sending black kids to the 4th grade that can't read in the 3rd grade. No. No. Kids, how are you a school board trustee and you comfortable saying that kids in the 9th grade are reading on a 5th grade level? Something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that. How you comfortable saying that? So basically, you're just pushing kids through. You're just pushing them through. We have to let the teachers get back to teaching. We have to let them get back to teaching. Then all of a sudden, when you do that, school becomes fun. Education and learning becomes fun. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the kids start performing a little bit better than what they're doing. They'll perform at a greater magnitude if the teachers could be allowed to go back and teach. That's how I feel about it. Now, I'm also looking through the site And let's get out of here for a second. Let me put the site back up for you. Okay. Let's put the site back up. So I'm putting the site together. And as you can see right there, this young man was in Cashmere Garden. I wasn't feeling well that day. Really wanted to meet me. So I got out of my sick bed to go out there and meet him. And I know his grandmother and wanted me to come meet him. And that's exactly what I did. So now we get to, I got to put my endorsements. Now you explain to the people what you wrote about today about these endorsements, Aubrey.
Man, that's a powerful list, dog. I mean, I don't think I've seen anybody this early in the process have as diverse a list. That's what I was looking for. It's a nonpartisan race, and you've got a very, very diverse list there with young, old, a bunch of doctors. And what impressed me though was all of the school board members from Fort Bend and here locally, and city council members who's rocking with you, man. I was very impressed by that.
Well, the first picture I put up is probably to me one of the greatest principals that I've ever laid eyes on that decided to endorse me, and that's Dr. Bertie Simmons. That one was, bro, that really meant something to me. And next to Bertie, you see the Fort Bend County District Attorney Brian Middleton, who endorsed me, and next to him, you see my good friend, the GOAT of rap music, Brad Scarface Jordan, endorsed the OG man. And I started scrolling down, I'm steadily adding. And then we get down here, we got the Black Panther, the Black Power, Black Panthers, the new Black Panther Party from St. Louis, Missouri. I did some work down there with them brothers, their brother Bumani up in St. Louis. And the endorsements coming from all over the place. We got an endorsement from you, and I really appreciate it. Of course, Brother Abdul Halim Muhammad endorsed me. You know, the Nation of Islam. Nisi Hamilton, Dr. Nisi Hamilton, Dr. Carla Brown, the great Georgia Provost, Pastor James Nash, Renee Jefferson Smith, who ran for city council, Shatero Johnson, former mayor of Grand Coteau, Louisiana, endorsed me from the work they saw me do. Man, my man Wayne Dolcefino surprised me with an endorsement, and I love it. Aisha Ayers, she sits on the board of trustees for Lone Star College. Tamir Rice's mom. Hold on a second. Tamir Rice's mom. And then we get down here. Chris Ray is a big advocate over in the Cashmere Garden area. Got an endorsement from Dr. Shirley Rose Gillum, Fort Bend ISD School Board trustee. You see what I'm saying? You ain't coming through the door with no endorsements that's just flaky. Then I get an endorsement from State Rep Ron Reynolds, activist out of Dallas, King Ace. So people will be like, oh, well, that's a nice list. Hold on, we ain't through. We got more. Demetria Smith, she ran for mayor. She endorsed me. Mary Ann Huckman ran for Harris County DA, endorsed me. City Councilwoman Letitia Plummer at large endorsed me. My good friend, activist Art Smith from Fifth Ward Live endorsed me. Pastor Willie Davis, Attorney Scott Newar. I duplicated Brian's picture, but I'll fix that. Even the cussing pastor running with me, man. Even the cussing pastor running with me. The great Alan Provost, who on the north side of town is a legend. He's a precinct chair now. Almeda Dent, who's a precinct chair, endorsed me. You know, the great Sharon Barrett from the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. LaTanya Whittington, she's a precinct chair. Chuck Mahler endorsed me. You know, Fort Bend ISD trustee, Danetta Williams endorsed me. And I still am not through loading them up. These endorsements mean a lot to me because these are people that I've seen working for the community. They're not the traditional politicians, some of them who are politicians. You feel what I'm saying? They're not the traditional politicians. And to give me an endorsement, it means a lot to me. Now I'm waiting on one, and that one is like phenomenal. And I'm just waiting. But if I get that particular endorsement from my former superintendent, he was my superintendent when I was in school, Dr. Billy Reagan, say, man, I'm cooking with grease then.
Yeah.
If former Governor Mark White hadn't died, who would always tell me to ease up on me at the meetings, don't you change nothing about what you're doing. The former governor of the state of Texas, if he hadn't passed away, he'd endorse me. So as you can see, I got black endorsements, white endorsements, politicians, grassroots, activists, and advocates. Who else has that? Who else has that?
That's impressive.
Now, I may not get the endorsement of the established professional Negro politicians, but I don't care. Because you don't want me in there anyway. Not because I can't do the job, because I won't kiss the ring.
Yeah.
Because I won't kiss the ring. So how many in your mind, maybe you can speak to that, how many good qualified people have lost their races because they wouldn't kiss the ring?
Man, you talking about in school board races or just in general?
In general.
Oh man. Man, that's a process that has to be abandoned, man. I mean, in our community, the individuals who don't kiss that ring, dude, I mean, stands little to no chance to win. And partly because of, well, for a number of different reasons. I don't really want to get into that, the harvesting and that kind of thing and these guys. But man, they just there's a process that's mean and it's hard to beat, especially from an outsider. When I say outsider, I'm talking about outside the political establishment to have success in our races. You see it on the other side. Now, I know that these are this is a nonpartisan race, but when it comes to these partisan races, dude, if you don't kiss that ring, you almost, you're toast in a lot of cases. But we are seeing people bucking that system. Here lately, even in the last Dem primary, you saw some candidates break through who didn't have the support of the establishment. You saw a little bit of that also back in 2018. I was talking about 2020 then, in the 2020 Dem primary. You saw some candidates break through. Now, what they've done since taking office, because there's a fallback to even when you go around kissing the ring going in, once those candidates actually went on their own, they get bombarded. So it's a catch-22 that they're in. So I don't have any numbers as to how many folks have didn't win because of not kissing it, but I can tell you that these guys have a catch-22. If you don't get it, if they don't get you going in, man, they'll get you once you take the seat and try and get you indoctrinated into the family.
Well, I don't want to be indoctrinated. I don't want to fall off into no illegal activities. You can keep your money. Now, I will tell y'all, if you invite me to a function, I eat up all your food, but I don't want your illegal money at all.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
On a different,
I want to work.
Did you freeze up? On a different note, on a different note, a little bit different note, not to get far off what we're doing. You saw the thing. You saw what happened with the TEC accepting that complaint against Shanks, right?
Yeah. Tell the people what you mean.
Well, I think we've been talking about this for the last few weeks now, where the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, they have a situation. Initially we thought that they had been illegally operating since 2015. Come to find out now, we're talking about 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. That complaint was initially filed a couple weeks ago. There was a couple errors, some things that needed to be corrected in it. It got sent back. Then, the corrections were made, sent back over, and they've acknowledged him. He's on a 10-day time window now to respond to the allegations that's being made against him, man. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be solid.
That's actually two people who've received letters from Texas Ethics, from the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, which is Darnella Wilkerson, Dr. Darnella Wilkerson, and Terrence Shanks.
And the crazy part about this is Dr. Wilkinson was not on anybody's radar, dude. Shanks is the one who brought her into the picture. Yeah, she was around, man. I wasn't even thinking about that girl. I mean, thinking about Dr. Wilkinson. I mean, but Wilkinson, he brought her into the picture by saying that the coalition more or less was not, and I'm talking about the Harris County chapter, that his organization, who had just held a meeting, man, I mean, like a week prior, this guy comes and throws the girl under the bus by saying that her PAC is the PAC that they were operating under. You know, then you file the report and you see no reference to the Texas Coalition Black Democrats Harris County anywhere on her campaign finance reports. So, I mean, and she's the one who isn't that the one who sent you the your refund on your membership dues?
Yeah. Yeah, she never sent it back. Don't play with me. That's money laundering. Don't play with me. Well, that's wire fraud. Keep playing with my money, and it is what it is. But I tell you what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna reach out to the vice chair of the state level of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, Sharon Berry, and see if she want to come on the show.
I think that's a good idea, man.
I think I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she wants to come on the show and have this conversation. Just like I say, we loading up this week. I mean, Representative Dutton should be here next Thursday on the Hood CNN. We got DJ Yellow from NWA.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's gonna be on the show, man. And it's just a lot of people want to come through. And he just wrote a new book, and I want to support my brother because I've been an NWA fan from the day they popped off. Yeah. You know, but Yellow was always the quiet one. He was always the one that you never really heard too much from. So now he's written a book, and we're gonna have him on the War Zone. But the thing is, none of these people were on our radar. On your radar, my radar, until the Universal Circus forgot one of their rodeo clowns. Well, not the Universal Circus, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. They forgot one of their rodeo clowns, and they left, Reliance Stadium and been running around Houston masquerading as a doctor. And then all of a sudden, it opened the gates to other things. And as the great Harold Dutton said, he called
it. Don't do that, Gary, man.
Dr. Fake. Dr. Fake. So, I mean, it's what it is, man. It's what it is. Ain't nobody said nobody's name. We could be talking about anybody.
Man, Dutton rough, man.
Man, Dutton is raw. I love him. He's raw. He's straight to the point. And that's a big thing because they're still screaming they need to get him out of office. We want him out of office. Okay. Well, he just had an event this past weekend that was highly attended. Until you can get his base not to vote for him, which I doubt that will happen, then you're not going to get him out of office. You're not going to get him out of office. Yeah. But the thing is these youngsters with this new wave of politics, they want what they want. And if you don't give us what we want, we're going to roll up on you or we're going to get you out of office because you didn't get what you wanted. Is what you wanted, was it good for all of the people? That's the question. That's the question. Was it good for all of the people? And some days, I don't think it's good for all of the people. I just think it's good for their situation. What you think?
Man, a pair of lips can say anything, man. I mean, this early in the game, you got, people talking about, I saw some comment by a person talking about how much money they got and how they can money up. Look, dude, that particular district, I mean, appears to love Dutton. And when you have an outside factions coming in, talking about getting this guy out of office, man, it's going to take some work. And I'm not sure that they've counted the cost or even, know how to even put together a strategy to get Dutton out of office. But, this rolling up and with this Facebook, man, this Facebook mob styling, folks post. I saw the post that you're talking about where he was promoting his event, and they come on it and basically just try and crash and crash the post and terrorize this guy, man. It's hard for me to see, people doing that and then crying, when they get into a fight that they can't handle, man. I mean,
but the main one that's trying to terrorize him, what have they done for the community?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was my question.
Nothing. The main one trying to tell him what he needs to do for the community hasn't done anything for the community. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've done nothing.
I agree.
And that's the sickening part of it. And this is why, as Black people, we can't come together. I can't work with nobody like that. Yeah. I'll never work with somebody like that. Because I'm out here and I'm really doing the work. As you saw this weekend, we were putting in work.
Yeah.
We were putting in work, man. We're not faking with this. So, I think Rep Dutton, he should be on this Wednesday, Dirty Politics. And we're going to welcome him back because, like I say, he's been here several times. And we're going to welcome him back again and let him speak his piece and speak his truth. Why he not in D.C.? All of them didn't have to go to D.C.
Yeah.
All of them didn't have to go. Didn't you have a strong contender to go? And Biden still won't meet with you? So now you down there and you pulling the field card again, which I don't think is going to work. I think there has to be another strategy. The field card ain't working right now because it's not moving the Republican Party at all, whether it's local, state, or federal. You're not shaking them right now. They're not moving with the tactics that you're using.
Yeah. So tell me something, Gary. Man, who's going to be at the polls to stop people from walking into the polls and casting their vote, dude? Nobody's been able to tell me that. Who's going to be standing at the polls to stop voters from walking into the poll and casting their vote?
I've never seen it happen. I work the polls. I've never seen it happen. You've shown up at the polls while I was working.
Yeah.
I have never seen it happen. I've never seen a poll worker inside of the polling area harass a voter. I've never seen it. But all of a sudden, this is what they're doing. You don't have no video. You don't have no audio. You don't have anything. Somebody just put a narrative together and start making politicians spin the narrative. And now everybody done bit into it that wanted to bite into it because everybody didn't. And now all of a sudden you got voter suppression. So I'm being honest with you. I'm learning how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm doing this every day. It's like exercising me because I need to be able to count them jelly beans at the voting poll when I get ready to go vote because they probably make me count some jelly beans in a jar. I've been also practicing learning all of the counties in the state of Texas because they may make me recite all of those counties. And then lastly, I may have to take a test when I go to cast my vote. For real. That's voter suppression. That's voters. I can't speak on Louisiana. I can't speak on California, but I can speak on Harris County. It's voter fraud in Harris County, man. And they know it, and they trying to keep the system the way it is.
I got to shake my head on that, man. I mean, we just got to do better, man. We got to find a way to do better.
Well, it doesn't look like we can do better. It doesn't look like we can do better because we have underlying plots as to why we're doing whatever we are doing at the moment. And I think that everybody should get to a point where you can see what's going on. You can see what's going on. Now, if you want to believe the narrative that they're spinning, then believe what you want. Until somebody can address me or address you and show us that this was not voter fraud, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing because it is what it is. Ain't one Democrat said nothing publicly about the evidence that we've shown. Because somewhere in there it tells me you may have benefited from the system that was in place for you to get those votes that you needed to get.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that don't want to know. And I tell you what, man, this thing could be a whole lot easier if the mainstream media went in, even if they went from the information that we had or called us up and we went in and, and put some of the documentation in front of them, and we weren't walking into an ambush of some sort, man. We could ferret this stuff out and we could, figure out what's going on and then get that information to the people. You heard me talk about, I mean, for a long time back during the early voting phase of the last Dem primary, man, the irregularities and the unlikeliness of the numbers, turning out that way. I've gone back and I showed you the last two Dems who were county clerks, and I showed you've seen the report that I showed you on when Stan Stannard was a clerk, man. I mean, it just does not make sense. And nobody, not one politician has come to me and says, hey, Aubrey, let me take a look at that sheet that you've been holding up. Let me take a look at those numbers, man. What are you talking about? They don't want to know, Gary. Don't want to know, man.
I tell you what,
it's kind of like the young lady that you saw that open lane. I don't know if you watched the Olympics, but an open lane where that young lady, they just determined that she'd failed drug test in a 100-meter dash in one of those heats. Okabari, I don't remember now. I think she was from Nigeria.
She was from Jamaica.
No, it wasn't a Jamaican. I think it was a Nigerian. She had on green, Okabari. I mean, they were expecting for her to medal. And she wind up, man, in the middle of the Olympic Games getting thrown out of the game from cheating. Now, along the way, man, somebody knew what was going on with her, man. Somebody knew what was going on. But, I mean, people don't want to know. I mean, she's running fast. She's representing the country. But, I mean, so people turn a blind eye to it, So, and I think that's what we have going on here. I mean, everybody, especially the African Americans that are in Washington. Look, dude, those people know that something's going on. They know that it's going on. But, it is what it is at this point.
It's not one Democrat that's hiding out in Washington that has asked to see the evidence, to even address it, even if it's on a small scale. Not one that's in Washington right now has asked to see the evidence. And
matter of fact, you had a flash drive. You had a flash drive the last time you were over in Austin in a folder. I don't think anybody 3 a.m. or 4 a.m, whatever that was. Nobody asked you. Nobody took you up on your offer to put that flash drive in.
No, they wouldn't challenge me on that because it would have exposed them right there. I wish we had a screen we could have put it on so that we could show people what these people are doing. So, that's why we're fighting so hard, especially me, because I want a fair race in November. If Myrna Guidry beats me and it's a fair race, she beats me. But you're not going to cheat me. I don't give a damn who you are. You're not going to cheat me. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. But
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. With that, I want to say, man, I mean, I can't stress enough that not all Democrats cheat, dude. Just like not all Republicans cheat. Some of these people have no idea what we're talking about. They put their push cards together. They put their campaign signs up. They go and attend the events, and the election turns out the way that it turns out. They have no idea, what's going on. No idea what we're talking about when we're talking about absentee ballot harvesting. But my problem here is that many don't want to know, though, because we could tell them what we're talking about if we can get some folks to take their heads out of the sand, come to the table. And I think that folks will be impressed with the information that's been gathered, and we could get something done about this.
Well, I tell you what, man, give them your final thoughts, because we ain't gonna run over tonight. We right at about 58, 51, and we're gonna get up out of here, and we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna have an intimate discussion about something. I don't know what it's gonna be. So your final thoughts on preparing for this race now that we have an opponent against Myrna Guidry.
Yeah, you have an opponent, but I'm gonna tell you the key thing here, from what I've seen from these District 9 races, whether we're talking about HCC or HISD, is going to be the players. Several things that we're going to have to look out for. I don't want to discuss too much of that right here, but we're going to make certain that you're not only doing your branding, and that you're not only attending the forums, the ones you choose to attend, and being out in the community, but we've got to make certain that we have some tentacles in place to recognize and ferret out the individuals who think that they're going to play ball and get away with it in this particular race. I mean, I don't know about some of the others, but we've got some things that we're going to do to make certain that some of the things that have happened in this particular race, that they don't happen this time. So, I'm looking to see, and we're going to be closely monitoring your opponent to see who she chooses as a consultant. Once we have that done, Chuck and some other folks are going to do their due diligence, and we're going to make certain, dude, hear me closely, we're going to make certain that they don't play ball in this particular race, man. So, if that be the case, you got a straight up race, man, I have no problem with seeing you. You should draw in the upwards of well over 70%. I mean, you're talking about 80, man. That's 80 is a big number. But, I'm seeing where, you should be somewhere in that 74 percentile. And this race should not even be close, dude. Not even close, especially not with the endorsement list that you've already put forward. And I'm sure there's a lot more to come to that. So that's my closing thought.
Yeah. Well, I think you're on top of it, brother. But what we're going to do, y'all, we're right at 1 hour. I want to thank y'all for taking the time out to listen to us. I want to thank all those people that endorse me. Man, I'm blessed because last time I had 1 endorsement and now I'm close to 40. This time I'm close to 40 endorsements, and they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming because people are tired. Black people are tired. White people are tired. Everybody's tired of playing the game. It's just time to put somebody outspoken, passionate into a position that they know they're good, they're going to be good at, so that we can get the results that we need to get.
And we're going to be close.
You feel me? So that's all it boils down to with me, that we have to get there. And I think we're doing fine, y'all. We're doing fine. And I want to thank everybody that's donated to the campaign. If you want to donate, you can see down there. You can Cash App me. You can Zelle me. 25, 50, 100, 250, 500,000, whatever you want to donate to me, you can donate it to me, and it'll go towards the campaign. And it's not going towards me; it's going to our kids' future and their education. Because I'm ready to battle. I'm ready to battle in HISD. I'm ready to battle in Austin. I'm ready to battle because I'm tired, and I'm not going to keep playing this game where our kids keep coming in last in this educational race in the state of Texas. And that's it. Say it's a reason why I'm the best in the business. Say, man, every night, 7 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook, I want to thank my good friend, Aubrey Taylor, Houston Business Connections. He break it down for you. And you know who I am. The 5-star general. Until tomorrow, we'll holler at you.